Now we're going to learn how to do the actual napkin number formula. Okay? So this is where we kind of put pen to paper. I want to take this over to the flip chart here and show you guys exactly how this can work and why this formula is so powerful. Okay, so we got 4 line items that we need to know in order to flip a property successfully and actually make money on the back end. 9 times out of 10, you will find properties that actually don't work. And this is what a lot of people don't talk about in the market, is that when you're out there looking for deals, maybe only 1% of houses that you actually look at are actually a deal, right? That is truth. Like, that is very, very much truth. So if you're doing this formula and you're looking at properties, you're like, man, Ryan, I can't figure out why none of these numbers are working. It's because it's normal. Right? It's more common to find a house that doesn't work than it is that does, okay? This property here, just based on purchase price and what I know about the market, I'm pretty sure it's gonna work, but again, we're gonna do this live and we're gonna figure it out together, okay? So we need to know resale price times 0.91. Is this one on? Yeah, right. Okay. Okay, so resale price in our case is going to be $500,000, right? We don't have time to pull comparables, but that's what it will be. A legal 2-unit semi-detached home in this area is worth about 500 grand. Okay, so what we need to do is multiply that price by 0.91 to get our fully transacted cost after we're done the sale. Okay, now fully transacted cost in this case means 1.5% for legals and land transfer. It also means 5% plus HST for your realtor. I'm a big advocate for realtors. I'm not a realtor myself, but I am a big advocate for realtors because I think they get you the best bang for your buck. So if we take 500,000 times 0.91 and we work it back, that gives us 455,000 bucks. Okay, so that's the transacted price. Now, for renovations, we sorted out earlier on that we've got a basement roughly about 1,000 square feet, okay? Now, I know for the average consumer, they're gonna pay about 75 bucks a square foot to finish a basement apartment, basically fully empty to turnkey. So if we use those figures, 75 times 1,000, that's 75 grand. And because we have a dated bungalow of whatever vintage, we can automatically assume that we're gonna have to be doing some work up top, right? For the sake of time, I'm going to use 25,000 bucks. You could be anywhere from 20 to 40, right? And that's typically my go-to for a mild renovation on the main floor, and then I use square footage for the basement, okay? So we're going to use 25,000 bucks. Actually, no, we'll use 30. So we're going to add 30,000 bucks there. That brings our construction cost to 105. Fair? Okay. Renovations, 105. Now, carrying cost on a typical flip for me, 15 to 20,000 bucks. Now, there's a number of ways that you can go about doing this that will change your carrying cost, right? You could buy the whole house in cash, and there's very, very little carrying cost. You could buy the whole house on your Visa, and there's a ton of carrying costs, right? You could pay 28%. You could do anywhere in between. For me, using 3% interest on conventional bank financing the renovations in liquid funds that I have, you're typically $15,000 to $20,000 in this price range, right, for the first-time home buyer market, doing what we're looking to do. So we're going to use that. We're going to use 17. $17,000 in carrying costs. Now this is going to include things like property tax, insurance, utilities. Maybe it's in the winter. You'll use a little bit more heat than in the summer. Things like this, right? It's going to work out to about $17,000. Purchase price. Now, we saw in Kijiji that thing was listed for $299. Whether it sells for $299 and you're the buyer, great. Maybe it ends up in multiple bids. Maybe you won't buy it, right? Maybe you get it for less because the seller is motivated. We don't know. We're going to use $299 as the working figure right now. We put that at the bottom. Okay, so we pull up the calculator here. 455 times minus 105 minus 17 minus 299. That leaves us with a net profit of 34,000 bucks. $34K. Guys, we just did this without leaving a receipt, right? We found it on Kijiji. We used some cool tools online. We did a little bit of math on a piece of paper, and we're netting 34 grand. We haven't gone anywhere yet. We haven't moved, right? Quick show of hands, I'm curious to poll the room. Who would get out of their chair to go look at that deal to make 34,000? Right, some people don't make that in a whole year, guys, right? Now, everybody is different. Some people would say, oh, I don't get out of bed for anything less than 100. Okay, fine. Some people say, wow, that's a great deal. I'm gonna make some money, I'm gonna learn something, right? It depends on what your situation is. I have full-time staff, right? So I have to keep the pipe full. Would I take a deal at 34 grand in this market, knowing what I know about Oshawa, which is a fantastic, fantastic resale market? It's very, very liquid, and that's pretty good dough. Yeah, absolutely I would. My typical go-to is about 10%, right? 10% of ARV. If you're selling for 500,000, maybe you want to make 50, right? That's my go-to. But 34, maybe by the time you get there, you get a better deal. Maybe not, but definitely, definitely, would you go and take a peek at that?